Hello, my friends. I'm going to be painting an embellishment for you from start to finish. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I may divide it into a couple of videos, but let's get started. First of all, I found this reference photo of this sweet little bird from a Facebook group I belong to called Artists with Photographers. This is a photo by Rick Rousey. He does wonderful, a lot of birds and wildlife and more. He's just an amazing photographer. And I thought this one was sweet, an interesting posture of the bird, and fairly simple for a demonstration purpose. So that's what I'm going with. And then I have this pour, kind of a dud pour, but I thought it would make a nice little background. It's on a wooden panel. So I don't usually do this step I'm going to show you, but it's helpful, and I might start doing it more, actually, to figure out placement, where you want the bird on here compositionally. I took a page protector, slipped the photo inside, and then traced the general shape with a Sharpie, a fine tip Sharpie. And cut that out, came up with this. Now I can place this on the canvas and figure out where I want it, what looks best. So let's talk a second about composition. You don't want to put your subject smack in the middle of your surface. It just is not, it's not sophisticated compositionally. Although that doesn't look bad. I mean, there's always exceptions to every rule. I'm not going to say it's always wrong. But in general, you want to have it off-center a bit. In fact, there's this theory you've probably all heard of, the rule of thirds. So if you were to divide this into thirds, so 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, where the lines intersect would be about here. That's where you want to have your center of interest. So by having this bird, one of those, well, that'd be too low, one of those spots, it works. So let me move it around and show you the different possibilities and why I like some and why I don't like others. All right, I don't like this for some reason. I can't even explain it, but it just feels wrong to me. I think maybe because it's so busy over here. This one doesn't sit right with me. And certainly I wouldn't want it over here because the, excuse me, the bird, the subject, is looking off the canvas this way, and then that takes the viewer's eyes right off the canvas and they don't look at the rest of it. So you want, if it's facing somewhere, you generally want it facing into the canvas. So neither one of those are good for me. Now this one, I like this better. Somehow I think it's got to do with the heaviness over here, and I like the way the flow is going up. So this is okay. That's a consideration. There. Now, if I turn it this way, I don't like this because the direction of the painting is flowing down this way, and it just looks like the energy is falling off, and it just looks wrong to me to have the bird. I wouldn't put it there, and over here, it just looks funny to me to have this wide open space. But if I turn it this way, this almost actually looks like a little bit of a, a tree. So I put that there. I like it. I can easily have stems coming out of here, and he's not right in the middle. He's a little off center. I like that. Probably prefer this over the horizontal orientation. Let me look one more time. not bad, but then there's more than half of it is just this very plain pour. So I think it's more balanced this way. So this is what I'm going with. Now, I have a video on how to transfer a line drawing to a canvas, and I will link it. I just figured out how to do the little cards up there, so there it is. And you might find that helpful. I'm going to show you one of the methods here, but there's one on there that involves an overnight process, but it's very amazing. So I encourage you to watch that video if you haven't already seen it. But for now, I'm just going to use transfer paper. I don't normally, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't always use transfer paper. I would, something this simple, I would just sketch it in with either colored pencil or chalk or even wet paint, just to outline. But I'm going to show you how this can be done. One way, so I'm going to get it where I want it there. Oops, I need my tape. I'm not worried about the branches because that will easily be, you know, placement of those can go anywhere. It's the bird I'm concerned with. I want that foot to be, I don't want hidden here on this dark area, so I'm going to raise that up. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to tape the plastic down. You can do this on tracing paper, but I found this, the page protector that you can see through works just as well and works better for placement. And then I'll take transfer paper and make sure you have the correct side face down. Slip that in there. And then I use a Faber-Castell artist pen. It's got a very fine tip. And I'm not going to worry about too much detail, but I want to be sure I get the shape of the head and the beak and the eye correct. So start with that eye there. So the more careful you are with your tracing, the better. I wasn't all that careful. So I just want to roughly get the shape of the body here. These lines are kind of the where I see color changes. Depending on your background, you'll either use white or black graphite paper. I'm just getting the general shape. And let's see, there's just a little bit of his tail is showing. Okay, that should do it. Let's see if that went through. Let's hope it did. And it did. I mean, it's not very dark, but that's good. I'd rather have it light than dark. I think I can see everything. Now, if it was too dark, I would take a kneaded eraser and, you know, kind of dab on there and lift off the excess, because I just want to be able to have the guidelines. I don't want it too dark, or you may have trouble covering it with paint, especially, you know, light colors like that. So There's a bird. Let me get my paint set up here and we'll get to work.